Hello everyone, Todd Shellnut here with CFI Pro Courses, and for this month I am going to be bringing to you to the table this new CFII material. That's right, Certified Flight Instructor for Instrument material will start effectively today, and we're going to run that for the next few months, and I'm going to be covering all of the aspects for the Certified Flight Instructor for Instruments. Now, some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this in these sessions are going to be for the add-on as well as the full-blown initial CFII. So before we get started, I want to go over some things about what would make you a candidate for a first time or an initial CFII. As a flight instructor, you have the possibilities of doing your CFI first, your CFII first, or your MEI, your multi-engine instructor, first. So why would you want to do your CFII first over the rest? Well, it's just depending on where your strong points are. If you're very strong in instrument procedures, then the CFII check ride is a shorter check ride. If you are more adept to the single engine maneuvers such as lazy eights, eights on pylons, chandelles, things like that, then you want to go ahead and just take your initial CFI. Same thing with the multi as well. The one thing that you have to understand about having a CFII only, meaning that the only flight instructor rating that you have is the CFII, is that you won't be able to execute the other privileges like for VFR. Now, with a straight up CFII and not having an I or an MEI, you would be able to instruct in both single and multi-engine airplanes. The only caveat would be that you must possess those certificates and ratings on your pilot certificate, meaning if you are just a CFII and you want to give instruction in single engine airplanes, then you must hold a commercial single engine with instrument privileges on your pilot certificate. And if you wanted to give the multi-engine training with only having just a II, you could do that, but you must hold a commercial multi-engine with instrument privileges on your pilot certificate. So this is actually a pretty good thing for a lot of people. A lot of instructors start off by doing their II first. Again, they just think it's an easier check ride. Back in the day when I first started training, it was very, very common that people did it. And the reason for was because back in the day, you had to fly a complex airplane on your check ride. So if you did the CFII, you didn't really need to do the complex airplane because that wasn't required for the add-on rating. So it just really depends on how you want to rock and roll, what you want to do, what are your goals. And this is actually a good path to start off if you're very proficient in instrument. When we go through this course, as I always have in the past, I'm going to be teaching you how to teach this material. So if you're here to try to learn something about maybe how a VOR works, or you're trying to learn about the parts of an ILS, you're not going to get that from this course. You're only going to get how to teach this as an instrument instructor, meaning that you already have the core knowledge, and I'm not going to be teaching you exactly how things work all the way down to the bare bones. If there are overlapping material that I've already covered, I will make sure that I denote that in future videos. So for instance, FOIs are going to be the exact same as they were for the CFI initial, so I will not be covering FOIs again in this lessons, but I will have a differential lesson based off the small, minute differences of the FOIs. There are differences in the layout of the FOIs as far as like A, B, C, D, E, but not in the content. So we would cover those very briefly on future videos. But the rest of the information is exactly the same. We're going to be talking about lesson plans for CFII. We're going to be talking about lesson content for CFII. And we're going to be talking about how to teach a lot of the things that I've seen people really struggle with in the past when it comes to being a proficient CFII. Now, as I did for some of my other courses, I have went through the Instrument ACS, and I did create a study guide for you based off that. So you may be asking yourself, well, Todd, why are you going through the Instrument ACS? I thought this was a CFII. Well, if you remember from the CFI, it's a standalone document where there is no standards. And the standards actually come from the private or the recreational, the private, and the commercial ACS. Same thing with here. Your only thing that you're worried about as far as the tolerances that have for the CFII come from the Instrument ACS. So we will be breaking the Instrument ACS down, and I've actually included my Instrument ACS, I guess you could call it study guide for now. This isn't a Patreon exclusive, it's same as my commercial ACS review is a Patreon exclusive. You won't find those anywhere else at all, period. So please make sure that before you print those off and give those out for free, that you do understand that you're actually paying for that. So please try not to give any of my information away. Really push your friends to come and visit me on Patreon, or if at a minimum just on YouTube, I would greatly appreciate it. So we're going to start off today. I'm going to publish on to this lesson the Instrument ACS review, and it's basically, like I said, the Instrument ACS broken down with some scenarios and questions and some answers. And if you have any questions or if you see any major mistakes, hey, let me know. You know, I try to produce a good product for you. I put a lot of time and effort in this stuff on a monthly basis. So please let me know if this is good for you or if it's not good for you, and let me know what you need. Part of your Patreon patronage each month is for me to assist you. And I don't think I get as many calls and emails and text messages as I should. With a little over 100 Patreons on my account so far, I'm really thinking that we need to be a little bit more question-based, so that way I can help you a little bit more. And so for those who actually have reached out, I think it's glorious that you're reaching out, and I think it's great that you have reached out to me and that we've spent time together and I've helped you to move forward. But I'm looking forward to just stretching my legs a little bit further as we go into the second half of this year, and to really assist as many of you as I can to help you be very successful. So I welcome you again to our instrument phase, and you really need to, if this is something that you're really serious on doing, keep those questions coming, keep those comments coming, keep interacting on the Patreon page here, and I will assist you to accomplishing your goals. Thank you so much for those who are still on, who have passed your check ride. I really do appreciate your continued patronage. You know that I'm always here to help. You just have to reach out and just ask the question. I'm always here for you. I'm Todd Shunt with CFI Pro Courses. I hope you enjoy the instrument content that I'm posting for you down in the comments, and I'll see you around in about 2 weeks. Take care.